the opening scene movie begins as John's usual routine begins like any other day, waking up and firing up his device to play PUBG, a game he's grown used to. But today, his world shatters when one of his friends messages him, asking if he's seen the news. Puzzled, John gets up to turn on the TV, only to have the signal cut out. Then, through his window, he hears terrifying screams from the street below. Curious and alarmed, John opens the window and is horrified by the chaos unfolding outside. People are attacking one another, violently ripping into each other and eating flesh in a gruesome spectacle. A girl even devours her own mother in a horrifying scene, and John is frozen in shock, unable to comprehend what's happening. In a panic, with the world outside descending into madness, he rushes to his door. A frantic knock sounds and he opens it to find his neighbor standing there, begging to be let in. Initially hesitant, John refuses, terrified that the same fate as the people in the streets might happen to him. The neighbor pleads, explaining that his brother had already turned into a zombie and begs for shelter, even if it's just for a few minutes. After much resistance, John relents, allowing the neighbor to use the bathroom. As the neighbor disappears inside, John turns back to the TV, where a news report confirms his worst fears. A deadly infection has spread through the city, turning people into bloodthirsty zombies. The infection starts with headaches, violent mood swings, bleeding from the eyes, and eventually a complete physical transformation into a zombie, ravenous for human flesh. The news warns that anyone encountering such individuals should either escape or kill them. Suddenly, John recalls his neighbor and rushes to grab a knife. When the neighbor returns from the bathroom, John points the weapon at him, demanding he leave immediately. But the neighbor insists he's fine, begging for just an hour of safety. As John insists he leave, he notices the neighbor's eyes, now bleeding, a clear sign of infection. Panic overtakes John as he shouts for him to go, but the neighbor, now visibly transforming, lunges at him. John fights him off and slams the door shut, but not before witnessing a terrifying sight. Through the peephole, a massive zombie grabbing the neighbor and violently tearing him apart. Horrified, John barricades himself in his apartment, securing all doors and windows. The city is overrun and there's no one left to help. His phone lines are dead, and even though his family sends messages telling him to stay inside and safe, John can't shake the feeling of isolation. The news advises citizens to stock up on food as the city is locked down for the next 60 days. John realizes his supplies will last only 10 days. Desperation sets in as he considers planting fruit seeds to grow food, but the reality is bleak. With boredom setting in, John briefly considers taking a selfie from his balcony, but watches in horror as